Right, I've decided to do a race at midnight, and it's in the Mount Panorama circuit. It's an all mini race, so let's get to it. When I'm doing a custom race, I like to actually start off right at the back. I try not to hit people, but you know, sometimes you do. There's 20 cars in the race, and I started off in 20th position. We're coming down this first long flat here. I'm trying not to hit people. Right, I've managed to get to the front of the pack. I think I only hit that one on the first corner coming around ever so slightly. Or was it him that hit me? This can be quite a tricky road, even in the daytime, never mind in the nighttime. And this is the first of 10 laps. If I do manage to win, it should be net me about 70,000 something credits. There are a lot of tricky corners in this race. The trickiest corner in the race is actually the one that will be coming up shortly, because you come speeding down here, and then you've got a big sandbank on that side, and you really need to brake on this side. And sometimes you go there to the right as well. This is just bringing us right now back down round to where the starting line is. The pits are off there to the left. And I remember when I first started playing on this track, and it was actually a race where you had to refuel and everything, and I just couldn't see where the pits were. And then even when I found out where they were, it's one of those pit entrances that goes around some very tight corners rather than straight in. Now I've preset the weather. I was going to put torrential rain and put my rain tyres on just to make it a bit more interesting, but there was no rain available for this track at this time of the night. Probably because it doesn't rain much in Australia anyway. I think I should really go down to the workshop and get this banner on the window screen removed. It really does restrict your vision. It's the same with the one that comes fitted on the Audi Quattro rally car as well. Really blocks what you can see. That's another place to the right there which is very easy to take you off the track. They do say that if you've got the Gran Turismo PlayStation on the play, and the setup with the wheel and the pedals and everything, it's actually the closest you can ever come to racing driving without actually being in a real race car on a real track. I don't have the wheel or the pedals. I just have the PlayStation controller, although it is quite responsive, and you do get some feedback through it as well. Feedback coming through it is perhaps even more noticeable on the shoot 'em up style of game rather than the racing game, because you actually have to use the same sort of strength you would to fire a rifle, for example. Well, you may be seeing us on the flat screen, obviously, of your TV, and believe me, it's not the same as you see it here on the VR2 headset. You can actually take account of all the depth and everything. It's much more realistic than on a flat screen TV. In fact, my wife sometimes laughs at me because she says, "Oh, as you're driving around, your head's moving from one side to the other." You know, and that's because it's just like driving on a real car, where your head and your body do move around with the movement of the car. I remember one of the very first times I ever experienced something in virtual reality, and it was at a shopping centre in Spain, somewhere between Marbella and Malaga, and there was a guy there with the headsets on, and I put one on to try it out, and I remember the scenes that were there. One of them, you were actually petting animals, and it looked as though they were really there, like giraffes and elephants and stuff. And another one, you was in one of these round tents like the Mongol people live in Mongolia, and it was like you were actually there enjoying a meal with their family. And then one of the other scenes, you were like stood out in space on your own with the planets and the stars and everything all around. And when I come out from that, I said to the wife and I said to the friends that were there with us, I says, you know, it made me feel like God, being up there looking down upon the whole of creation. I felt like a god. It really blew my mind. I did have the original VR headset for the PlayStation 4. That one was really, really good, but this one blows that one out of the water. Funny thing is, while I'm running these races and I'm narrating for these videos, I think the PlayStation thinks I'm speaking to it, and it keeps popping up with suggestions and blocking my view. and disturbing my concentration. I'm only on the 4th lap of 10. Despite how this fast this looks as though it's going, I was thinking I was probably a bit further along by now. I can actually see a couple of cars up in the distance that I'm going to be lapping now. I think I can see at least 4. I do actually have nitro fitted into this Mini, but I haven't actually used it. I haven't really needed to. So once again I've caught up to all these cars and I have to actually try and avoid hitting them. I don't like to hit other people's cars, even if it is just an AI. I mean, a lot of the time when you hit another car it actually blows you off the track as well anyway. I mean, I'm a lap ahead of them, so I can afford to hit the brakes. Although the guy is flashing his little blue flag there, which is telling them to give way to faster cars, i.e. me. And one of them made me hit the wall there, scrape along the wall, because he's not following the instructions of the man with the blue flag and letting me by. That's the one in the 9th position that I've just lapped, and I'm fast coming up on number 8. So as I started off in position 20, right at the back of the pack, that means that I've passed them already twice, I've lapped them twice. Well, couldn't track my the PlayStation VR unit couldn't track me then, because unlike the VR1, which was tracked by the camera sitting on top of your PlayStation, so it doesn't really track in the dark. So, you know, you had to sit with the light on. And perhaps my wife's come in and switch the light off. Thinking I don't need it because I've got the headset on. So I think I've lapped all the fields twice now. Like I said before, I've preset the weather and the sky's a bit cloudy at the moment. but it should clear up and become clear later, and you may actually be able to see some stars through the window screen. Especially as we're up this mountain, Mount Panorama. Oh, nearly touched the wall there. Just managed to avoid it. I mainly play the Gran Turismo games and the Sniper Elite games, but if you guys want to see any other game being played and I have it, let me know, and if I have it then perhaps I can do a video having a few goes on that game, a few play rounds and stuff. I have other games such as Assassin's Creed and the Resident Evil series and stuff like that. Got some little platform games as well, which I've hardly ever played, and some classics. I'm just wondering if that break in the game when it lost my tracking, if it actually stopped the recording. And I'm probably going to be wondering that now until the end of the game. Wondering if I'm just talking to myself or not. Until I actually get to check it out at the end. Oh, if you look out there, I don't know if you can see it. You can see some of the stars coming out. Although they are a bit hard to see with this banner on the window screen. Really will have to see if I can get that taken off. Because like I was saying before, it's really restrictive when it comes to seeing out of the window, out the window screen. And it's happened again, and that has caused me to hit the wall. I'm just going to have to make sure if I do another one at night time that I have the lights on in the room. Oh, and it was all going so well. I mean, losing that tracking is really putting me off my game. I mean, sometimes at night when I haven't got the light on, I've just got the TV screen on. It picks it up because that gives sufficient light. But obviously I'm racing here now in the early hours of the morning. On the screen obviously, it's a lot earlier here, but it's the early hours of the morning on the game, so it's not giving off a lot of light to be coming out my TV screen. Just coming now to the end of the 7th lap, so I'll have another 3 to go. And I think I'm still way in the lead. Without once using the nitro. I don't know if the screen moves with my eye movement, but you can see there the route map, and you can see the fuel and the nitrous and the condition of the tires. And at the very extreme left is a dew meter, which lets me know if there's any water on the road. And as you can see, I've not used any. There's no fuel use or tire wear on this game. You can put it in if you want, and in some of the pre-programmed races that you do for the championships and stuff on the game itself, in the career mode, you do have races where there is no fuel use and no tire wear, and then you have games where it goes down, races where it goes down like really quickly. Like yesterday I was racing around Daytona with a Camaro, and it was like every 3 laps that the fuel was running out. I had to go in and recharge the fuel, refuel up, and change the tires, and the AI cars didn't seem to be having to do that, which I thought was a bit unfair. But hey, a lot of these races, when it comes to winning, depends on just choosing the right car, having it tuned up the correct way, because you'll find that when you've got a car that's the perfect car for one particular race, it does absolutely rubbish in another race. So it's just a case of finding that right balance, finding the right car for the right track. And obviously you get some cars like the Bugattis, the LaFerrari. Oh, and then I'm going off the track again because I'm not concentrating. The Bugattis and the LaFerraris are very good on the long straights. However, they're not that good on a road that has a lot of corners. Whereas you have the RUF CTT R3, which I believe is based on the Porsche 911s, and that one is an excellent car for any track. It's super fast on the straights, it's really good on corners, and I actually use that in particular races on Gran Turismo Sport, which was the Gran Turismo game before this one, which I still play because I really enjoy. And I use that on a certain set of races on the league to do my daily workouts. And I actually have it all a setting of N400 or N500, although I can put it up to N700. And even on the N400 I can actually win those races, which I do for my daily workout. And all the other cars in those races are an N1000. And I'm lapping another one. They're N1000s, so I'm running them at like half or less than half the power with my CT R3. It's running at half the power of those ones, and I not only win them, I actually lap them. It's such a great little car. It reminds me of when I used to play, I think it was Gran Turismo 3 or 4, when you still had city courses like Seattle and Paris and Rome and stuff. And I used to race the Audi TT a lot, especially around the Seattle, because that was the best car, in my opinion, for Seattle. So here I am, lapping cars for the third time. And of course you got the men with the little blue flag. Again telling them to get out of my way because I'm too fast for them. But they don't always tend to obey, which I don't mind too much because I'm a rebel myself. But they are actually going over to the side there, and I am getting past them. There's 10, there's 9, there's number 8. And I'm actually on the last lap now, 10th lap. So this race will be over in a couple of minutes. And I'll show you some cool angles of the inside of the car you can get when you're doing the replay. And I hit the wall there because of that guy not wanting to hit him. And when you're actually racing with the headset on, this is the view you get of your car. Here's your cockpit, as you would if you were actually driving the car itself. Well, like in one of my previous races and one of my videos I've already posted, I was driving the Infinity Concept VGT, and with that one you could not actually see the inside of the car. It was like just the overhead view of it. And I'll show you the different views now when we're going through the replay. Yeah, just concentrate now coming down this long straight to the bend where the big sandbank is, as we come back down towards the finishing line. We're obviously in a real race, going off the side like some of the times I have, hitting the walls and things like that would incur time penalties. And the way they deal with that in this game is that you get to a certain point in the track and your car automatically slows down for the amount of time that you've got the penalty. There we are, I finished in first place. So we hit the next. There we are. They're all 2 laps behind me. Let's see. It's that again. So let's hit that. Let's see what we're over. We've got 70,500. And I've done 216.2 miles today. Well, 226.219 miles was what you did for your workout on here. So here we go for the replay. I'm not going to show you the whole replay. It'll take far too long, make the video too long. So what I'll do is I'll just show you the different angles, and then we'll leave it there. Right, so what you can see now is the normal replay and the way that you actually see your cars going down the tracks. You can actually change to another car. So I've moved into the car in 7th position there. Let's go back and find mine again. Where am I? There I am in number 4 at the moment. So let's have a look at another angle. That's the angle that you see when you're actually driving with the VR headset on. And this is the one I was saying, I quite like this one. This is the wide angle view of inside your cabin. You know, as if your camera is at the top of the car, at the back. You've then got this one where you're looking out through your window with your rear facing camera. You can just see the lights reflected in the mirror there at the top of the screen. This is a view you get when you're looking over your bonnet. And of course you've got the rear view. As you can see, it's pretty dark outside. And there you've got that original view. So I've shown you all the views there. So I think it's time to say goodbye to this race, and I'll see you in the next one, folks. Just a quick reminder, that was my time for a 10 lap race, 28 minutes, 7 seconds and 489 1,000ths of a second, I think that is. So we'll exit. Catch you in the next one.